Welcome back to Weirder After Dark, the podcast we get into all things New England weird. My name is Sean, and I'm here with my two co-hosts.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Kathy.
And we are here today with Whispers After Dark 3, our Two Tales and a Lie series of our listener tales. And I am falling in love with this series really quick. I'm so excited.
I am really enjoying it. I like talking to all of our listeners out there who are sharing. I have a nice little stockpile of some stories from people, and very, very exciting. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, people around New England are weird.
I got some stories today, and they are not from New England.
All right. Well, Kathy, as you said, you're going to be leading the charge here today. Chris and I will be in the hot seats trying to suss out which one of these tales is not true. Mm-hmm. And if you are new here and this is your first time joining in, that's exactly what's happening. Kathy today is going to share 3 stories here for us. It is going to be Chris and my job, as well as your job, gang, to figure out which one of these is the lie. And with that, Kathy, are you ready to dive in?
I am ready.
Let's get fucking weird.
Okay. So our first story comes from Jake from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
All right.
Damn.
We have somebody listening in Oklahoma.
In Oklahoma.
Cool.
The story goes, one night in 1995, near the old cemetery outside my hometown, I was with a couple of friends just hanging out, drinking beer. Pearl Jam was cranking through the speakers. The night felt like any other, nothing out of the ordinary. We decided to drive out to the cemetery, which we all knew we probably shouldn't have been there, but cemeteries at night, all that cool stuff.
Spooky.
And we were teenagers. We didn't really care. We were just looking for something to do. The music was loud and we were all laughing and joking around. But then just for a second, we saw it. Out of the corner of my eye, I caught a glimpse of something. Movement in the trees at the edge of the cemetery. It was quick, like a shadow that didn't belong. And then it was gone. I glanced at my friends and we all froze, our smiles disappearing. The mood shift instantly. And suddenly it felt way too quiet, like something was wrong. At first, honestly, I thought, oh crap, the cops are here. My parents are going to kill me.
That's fair. Yeah.
But we sat there for a moment waiting and trying to brush it off. We just carried on as if nothing had happened. But it happened again. Just as I turned back towards the trees, I saw the figure, tall, unnaturally tall, standing still, completely motionless. It wasn't human. It didn't have any features, just a dark silhouette, too dark to blend in with the night. We all stared, too shocked to speak, but it didn't move. It was like we were being watched, and then that was enough. Without a word, we bolted to the car, and as soon as we got inside, the silence hit us like a heavy weight. We didn't speak. We just sat there, our eyes glued to the trees, too scared to move or turn on the car. Finally, we drove off. The air in the car still felt heavy with fear. I didn't even turn the radio on. I've never been back to that spot, and I don't plan to. Whatever it wasn't human.
Oh, I don't love this. This is some more cryptid shit.
Yeah, you remember Slender Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought he was describing, right?
Literally thought the same exact thing. I went like, ooh, Slender Man, super tall, skinny, kind of dark silhouette. Then I also started thinking about our last Whispers After Dark episode from Gardner, Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. The figure that was like all leg. We didn't get any like characteristics, but same kind of idea.
That was freaky.
Yeah, this feels really real to me. I don't know. I feel like that's like a real experience. Like you kind of catch something, you see it, all your friends are kind of like have that moment of panic, and then you kind of just like retreat to the car and kind of just sit there and take it all in from feeling kind of that safety in that moment. I feel like that all felt real reaction to me.
So you think this one's real?
Yeah.
So far, this one feels real to me as well, but we'll hear the rest.
Got 2 more to go.
I feel pretty confident right now. That's a real story. I feel pretty good.
So our next story is from Scott from Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Right.
One late summer night, my girlfriend slept over at my apartment, and suddenly I woke, looking at the alarm clock that read 3:17 a.m. Then, in the corner of my eye to the left, I saw a grayish cloud appear outside my window. It then moved through my bedroom and manifested into what could be described as a gray alien.
Nope. I am hard out. I don't want to hear the rest of this.
Too bad. It was hovering, static, and then slowly moved across to the middle of the room like it was on a conveyor belt. My heart began pounding and I became overwhelmed with fear. I believed it sensed my emotions because it started to reverse course back towards the window. For some strange reason in my mind, I thought, please don't leave. I promise I won't be afraid.
What? No, let it go, dude. Yeah.
Me and this person could be best friends, clearly.
Oh my God.
Don't leave. It then came back to the middle of the room and sat down on the floor. Definitely a gray, but it was more like a very shiny black, like a patent leather, about 4.5 feet tall, long arms and fingers. Its body was very narrow. Its head was bigger than a human being, almost almond-shaped.
Bigger than a human being? Or a human being's head?
I imagine like a human being's head.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, that is a big-ass head.
Its body kind of reminded me of the character from Edward Munch's Scream painting.
Okay.
No
Okay.
angular joints like knees or elbows, very organic. It then slowly and carefully began to walk towards me. When it got to about a foot or two from where I had been laying in bed, it bent down and moved its face within a foot from mine.
Nope. Sucker punch that guy right there. That's the moment. Violence is happening.
I could see my reflection in its eyes. I can tell you it had a helmet on of some sort. The large eye portals were shiny like a mirror and tapered down. There wasn't a nose, and the mouth was just a small slot. Just at that moment, I became excited and turned to my girlfriend to wake her up. I shook her rather excitedly and said, wake up, there's an alien in the room. And then I immediately turned back to the alien, but it was gone. The next morning when I woke up, my girlfriend was already in the kitchen making coffee. I walked in, and the first words out of her mouth was, why'd you wake me up last night to tell me there was an alien in the room? My jaw went agape. That meant, to me anyway, the encounter really did happen. I explained the whole experience to her very vividly. She just laughed at me and shook her head. But I knew it happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just fucking terrifying.
I hate everything about that right off the bat. Just, if you couldn't tell from my reaction. No, that's literally my nightmare. Except in my nightmare, it doesn't just disappear. It continues to probe me.
Okay.
Yeah. But Chris, what do you think on that one, man?
I feel like this one is real too.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. First I thought, this is a nightmare. But then when his girlfriend said that he actually tried to wake her up, I was like, this might have actually happened. Both of these stories so far have been really compelling.
I feel like that has some really good elements of a true story, like you were just calling out. But there are also the emotions don't feel right. Like an alien floats into the room, initially scared, then all of a sudden like, no, don't go. I won't be scared. Come back. Like you want that? Like, I'm sorry.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't
me.
think I would be. I don't think that I would be.
You would
scared.
say, come back. I won't be scared. Come back. I want to have this interaction. Strange being in my room that shouldn't be here.
Maybe. I
Fuck
don't know.
off. No way. No way. And then when it's literally leaning
That
over
would
to you,
terrify me.
then you're just like, oh my God, wake up. There's an alien. The emotions just don't mix to me. I don't know. It seems strange.
But that comes from someone who is afraid of aliens. Like
Everyone should be afraid of aliens.
we don't know that they're here to hurt us.
Okay. I mean, that didn't seem like, what was it going to do?
I don't know.
It leaned over.
It was just looking at him.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This one strikes me a lot.
It started as a gray, misty smoke outside the window, came through the window, manifested into a gray alien. And he had some kind of emotional connection with this thing because it stayed because he realized he got over his fear.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot there.
That like ESP connection though, like I've heard about that a lot supposedly with extraterrestrial beings. So that checks out from like, stories that I've heard. But I also want to call it moving like it was on a conveyor belt. I don't know. That's just like such an interesting description as well. So I don't know. We'll see. Okay. I'm leaning this one's probably the fake one. At least I want it to be so I can sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Going on to the next one. So this one is from Lee, and Lee is from Massachusetts. I came home after a long day at work, stepping into the quiet of the house. It was an old New England colonial filled with 100 years of history. I entered through a breezeway, a narrow passageway that connected the main house of the apartment to where we were renting from my in-laws. The space led straight to the kitchen of the main house, and there was a small staircase that led upstairs, and at the top, there was a door into the left that opened to the main house, and on the other side, on the right, there was a door that led to the apartment. A friend of ours had been going through a tough time, so she was staying with us for a while. When I got home, I headed straight into the main kitchen to give her some space to get settled. As I stood there, I could hear the faint sound of the shower running upstairs. I figured I'd give her a moment to finish getting ready before I went up to say hi. While I waited, I sent a quick text to my husband to let him know I was home and that our friend was in the shower. I mentioned I'd figure out dinner once I had a chance to talk to her. Then the water from the shower turned off, and I heard movement in the bathroom. I distinctly heard the door in the breezeway open and close, followed by the door to the apartment. Exactly the sound I'd expect if our friend had finished showering and was heading to the apartment to get dressed. I called upstairs, "Hey, I'm home. Come on down when you're ready." But there was no answer. I kind of just assumed she hadn't heard me. Moments later, my phone buzzed. It was a text from my husband. "What do you mean? She's at work. I just got off the phone with her, and she won't be back until late tonight." My stomach dropped. Something wasn't right. Who or what had I just heard? I called up again, louder this time. Hello? With my heart racing, I cautiously made my way upstairs to the apartment. I opened the door, checked each room, but nothing. No one was there. The house was silent, except for the pounding of my own heart. I still can't explain what I heard. Footsteps, running water, doors opening and closing to a deliberate path.
Even the running water was,
But I was alone in the house. After this, I went back to the main house, turned on the TV a little bit too loud, and with all the lights on, waited for my husband to get home because I was not ready to go back up there alone.
Don't like this one either.
Oh, this one's freaky.
Yeah.
I can picture sitting there and like, oh, yeah, obviously there's somebody upstairs, and then to find nobody.
I feel like I could explain away the footsteps. I could probably explain away the door, like maybe like, I don't know, mailman or something happened, or
But the shower
running. Ooh. I don't know. I don't like it. Yeah, that made me freak out.
Where'd we land, guys?
This story is also true.
They can't all be
three
true.
of these are true. Yeah, I've got to pick one. All these could be true. I don't know.
I feel like this one gives me an element of true as well. And the reason for that is just the way the story was written. I feel like it was written really naturally from the perspective of a person, especially the explanation of like going up a staircase and the way that the doors are all settled up. I feel like if I was writing something really quick, that's exactly how I would have written it and described it without like being like, all right, I'm going to sit down and write a fucking novel and then like edit it 3 or 4 times. Like that's how it would have come out. So that strikes me as real. So I feel like I know where I'm at, Chris.
I think I've made a decision as well.
All right.
Okay, so where are we landing? What did we decide? Which is the fake story?
I'm going with the gray alien being fake because I really, really want that to be fake.
Okay.
I'm actually going with that one too, which this didn't work out the last time Chris and I agreed on something.
It did not.
It didn't work out for us. So like that makes me now want to change my mind, but I feel like the emotions were wrong in that one. And was that, was that Scott?
Scott was the alien from Milwaukee.
So Scott, if this is a real story and I'm telling you your emotions are wrong, I'm sorry.
I'm going to tell you that the story about Lee was true.
Okay.
All right, that's the ghost water.
That's the ghost one. The ghost in the shower. So that one is true. So that is a true story. So you both got that right.
I don't like that story.
Yeah. I honestly, like, that one just, like, I feel like we all have heard sounds inside of our homes.
I was sitting in the living room with her. Like, that one freaked me out.
I'm so sorry, Lee.
So now it comes down to Jake from Oklahoma in the cemetery with the cryptid, or Scott from Milwaukee and the alien. And you both think Scott from Milwaukee is the fake one and Jake is real.
Yep, I think Jake's real. I think that cemetery story, we've all done that when we were
I
younger.
can see that one, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you're both wrong.
No, no way.
Just want you to know that I wrote Jake from Oklahoma.
Oh.
Scott, made up that story.
Oh,
yes,
Scott.
So Scott from Milwaukee reached out to me and shared his story.
I'm embarrassed for how I threw Scott under the bus. Scott, I am so sorry. That is a absolutely terrifying experience, and I am so confused by your emotions.
I think I can I feel like, I don't know that I would be like terrified if I saw an alien.
If it's standing over you as you're like lying in bed, vulnerable. Yeah.
My bedroom is my space. If I saw it outside, I saw it in a field, I could kind of see a mix of terror and excitement. But I'm asleep. This is my space.
So what scares you more is the invasion of
Vulnerability.
privacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that when I go to bed tonight, a gray alien mist might come in my fucking room. That's the part that terrifies me.
I've never heard of an alien mist. Is that something you two have ever heard of before?
I've never.
That is crazy.
So it's a mix of the paranormal and alien.
I would love to like get Scott on and try to interview him and just to hear the story fully 100% from him.
I could reach out to him.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, let's
to draw off as a follow-up episode.
See if he's interested in that. So yeah,
I'd love that. Well, damn it, Scott.
So I am 0 for 3 so far.
0 for 2. Kathy is 1 for 1.
1 for 1.
All right.
Damn, Kathy, how's it feel? We need to get like a belt or something or some type of trophy to go around here. Wow, this was 3 really, really spooky tales. I am unsettled.
I really enjoyed these. These are really neat episodes that we're doing. I'm really enjoying the listeners writing in and telling us these crazy stories and, getting to share them.
All right, Kathy, thank you so much for sharing these listener tales. That was absolutely awesome. And to those of you who sent those in, it was Lee and it was Scott. Thank you so much for taking the time to type that up. And to the gang, if you are listening right now and you're like, I have my own strange experience that I want to see if I can sneak it by one of Kathy, Sean, or Chris, you can send your story to us and it can be done via email. And you can send that to thegang@weirderafterdark.com. And if you haven't yet, we are building some communities out there. So feel free to visit our Reddit or our Facebook or our Instagram. You can find that again at Weirder After Dark. And as always, y'all, remember, it always gets a little weird after dark.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.